Good morning, Derrick Chevalier here. Welcome to CCN Sunrise. Excited this morning. My guest, Miss Tami Devine, and she's going to talk to us about culture and race in America, and we've got a surprise coming. Good morning.
Good morning. It's
well,
so
you're
great
on the other side of the table.
I know, it's weird.
Yes,
but I love it.
Thanks. So let's talk a little bit about race in America. So you know I have deep thoughts on this
Deep
one.
thoughts.
And so what do you think is the state of race in America at this point?
Well, I think it's very interesting. And when you follow politics, you've seen that there has been like a great divide, I think, of the races. We've got blacks over here, we've got whites over here, we've got Latinos over here. Everybody has their own stories, their own struggles, their own individual things that they're going through. And sometimes there's a, cultural clash with all of these races. And I think it's kind of sad. I don't think it has to be like that necessarily.
Well, I think I agree with you 1,000%. One of the reasons I think there's such a divide is that there's a lot of confusion about the difference between race and culture. Around the world, people confuse the idea of race with color, for instance, as if a color is a race. Judaism is referred to as a race when it is actually a
And
religion.
Islam as well. A lot of people
Islam
think
as a race of people, as opposed. For me, race has to do with blood, which doesn't change and is pretty much the same color in everybody. And culture has to do with what we eat, drink, religion, God, those
outside
sorts of
stuff.
outside stuff, which is how, namely, someone could be raised a certain or actually be certain racial composition, but have a completely different cultural composition.
Yes.
And I think you know something about that.
I do know something about that. Yeah, I am black, as you can all see, and
Beautiful.
well, thank you. I wasn't going to say that part, but it's okay.
true.
You can say it. Say more.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But I have African blood, and I was raised by an entirely white family. So my cultural experiences are a lot different than some folks that were here, but they're also the same because of my skin color.
Right, because the experience would be the same, but the way you would see it, touch it, and feel it. I was raised as multiracial, which meant you don't belong to anybody, right?
Yeah.
And also, I have family in Washington, and I wish we had a picture because all the nieces are blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and when you see them, they live in a world where virtually nobody knows that they're culturally African-American in many ways. And so that divide comes into play, I think, more about economics. It's just that the color is easy to see.
Often, yeah. The thing about it is that I think that there needs to be bridges between the races. I think it's okay for people to definitely have their individual cultures and to celebrate them and all of that. In America, for me, I'm like patriotic, conservative, Christian, so I'm like, let's all be American, right? If we're in America, we're Americans, let's be American and have one American culture, but also be proud of where we came from. We can be proud of that. That's not a problem at all. But I think what I'd like to be is a bridge between the races, if I can be. I know that sounds highly presumptuous,
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because there's real reasons and experience that you have. And this weekend is very special because there's a film coming out. You want to tell us about the film?
Yes. On August 21st, the premiere of Iron Chain Last Hope came out in Las Vegas. That is the
film of your life.
My life story, yes, a documentary.
Story. We don't want to give away a lot of details.
Not too much. I'll tell a little bit.
Yes, a little.
I was born on the floor of a mud hut in Sierra Leone, West Africa, and it was just my mother and I. She had elephantiasis. She had 4 children who all died. I was her only surviving child. Her husband abandoned her, so her family thought she was completely cursed. She named me Ndambi Kwende, Iron Chain Last Hope. The iron chain was to keep evil spirits away, because if you name your child something metal, that will keep evil spirits away. It was their thought process. And Last Hope, because she wasn't going to be having any other children.
Right.
And so the filmmaker, Dr. Laurel Adler, she's amazing. She's done so many films like this across the world. She decided she wanted to make the documentary of my life story and call it Iron Chain Last Hope because of my middle name.
And there's a great example of how culture meets race. In other words, the race, Sierra Leone, and there's some African root there, but the cultural experience that you had was a cross between what you experienced here and what the reality was there.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too. You know, white American missionaries adopted me, brought me back to the U.S. with them, and I've been able to have adventures I could never have dreamed of as a little girl in a mud hut in Sierra Leone, West Africa. And I've had to overcome a lot of challenges having to do with race, and my family helped me through that, and great friends helped me through that, and I've been able to live in both the black world in America as well as the white world, you know, and I think I can, hopefully my story will be an inspiration to help other people realize no matter where they come from, they can overcome challenges and be successful and do the things that they want to do and help other people.
Excited. You know, there is a pretty famous man who said, "Love will conquer all."
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to the movie. Thanks so much for being here. You look out, because we'll come back and talk more about the actual Iron Chain Last Hope, Tami's movie. Thanks so much for being here.